Hunting for that magical genie with piles of cash? Join Candace and her guests as they uncover financial secrets, have a laugh at past mistakes, and savor financial rebounds. Thank you for listening. Let's dive in and do something today that your future self will thank you for.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Money Flow Genie podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to give you a little brief overview of my personal experience in dealing with the state of Massachusetts and paying child support. And the reason I'm sharing this and being very vulnerable, because I feel like it's very unfair in the way that it's handled when you actually speak to someone. I'm not really sure why. I can only speculate, and I guess it's a waste of time. But I will say this is that when you call in and you speak to someone about if you owe back child support, and I will let you say to you now, please, no shame in that. You know, we all have our money struggles and we do the best we can. But when we're calling in and we're trying to create a payment plan or get caught up, you know, there's certain things that we should be asking that they don't tell us to ask. I found this out, believe it or not, the last payment. I found out that if you owe back child support and you have gotten a letter that you need to be brought up in payments, you can call them and talk to them and ask them it. And my understanding is, now please double check all of this, but my understanding was if you make a lump sum of what you owe of the back payments, they will remove the penalties and interest. Now, penalties and interest can be waived if you're paying in a lump sum of what you owe. Now, they didn't tell me that at all through the entire process that over the 13 years that I was paying. Now, the reason that I say this is that those penalties and interest are not inexpensive. We're talking in the thousands. And on my last payment, I was talking to the woman saying, I'm confused. There were a few other times that I had back child support and I was going to make a lump sum, and no one told me that I could ask for the interest and the penalties to be removed if I paid that day, that lump sum. And she said, oh, no, you can. And I said, well, is it retroactive? Like, can you look back at those times that I did make lump sums? And they said, no. So I'm providing for you information to ask. And you have to ask for the supervisor of the person, because the person you're like, the general person that you meet does not have the authority. It has to be someone at a supervisor level to be able to submit that waiver, but you can have it waived. So I wanted to share this experience that I had so that it's not a secret. And, you know, when I asked them, no one wanted to, I asked people to come on the podcast. No one, of course, they didn't want to lose their job. They did not, and they did not want to have themselves, their name mentioned in the podcast. But I will say that I did meet with a woman that had been working there for a long time. And it's always these people that have been working there a long time and really know the system. They're doing their job, but they say, yes, you can ask for those penalties and interest to be waived if you're doing a lump sum payment. You have to ask a supervisor, and you have to give them time to credit the account, because it'll still show, even though they've said verbally that they will waiver them, you do have to, I think it took about 5 to 7 business days for that to show up on the account, because it has to be processed in the system. And you do have to follow up, because they do have a lot of calls from a lot of people. And sometimes you fall through the cracks, which I did. And all I did was recap the conversation previous that I had, and they took care of it right away. But just that one time alone saved me $2,000. That's what we're talking about, and just being able to have the smart questions and the smart answers. So I wanted to share that tidbit with you. This was the state of Massachusetts. I don't know about other states, but listen, it doesn't hurt to ask the question, can I have penalties and interest removed if I make a lump sum payment? What a difficult question that they could certainly have on their Q&A anywhere in there, or have somebody suggest. And when I asked them, why didn't you tell this to me before? No one mentioned this to me. They just stared at me as if I hadn't even asked a question. Don't even get me to go there, but I'm just going to tell you, I want to share this with you because this could help a lot of people. Because sometimes if you just get slapped with these penalties and interest in this situation, you just feel like you're more in a hole. Why bother? Because that's what you feel like. It's already feels bad enough if you get, behind in your payments. Don't think that everybody is a deadbeat mom or dad just because they may be late in their payments. It could be that you don't have the money in your account. What a novel idea. So anyhow, I hope this helps people. Please tell people about this that might be doing this so that they can actually make, maybe be able to get ahead a little bit, instead of feeling like a failure. So I want you to move forward in making your child support payments, whether you're happy about it or not. No one's happy about it because you can make a bag of groceries go much longer than you can a dollar bill, and stretching it. And there's a big difference. So coming up with extra money is a difficult thing to do if you don't have that cash flow coming in. So that's one of the reasons for starting this podcast, and the things that I've learned in order to build cash flow. So I hope this helps someone out there, even if it's one person. I do hope that you're able to get a little bit ahead, if you're in the child support situation that I was in before. And I want to thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing this if you think it would help someone. And remember that you are your own genie in the bottle. And please remember to do something good for yourself today that you will have your future self thank you for. All right. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
The info in this podcast is straight from our personal experiences. You alone possess the power to manifest your desires. You are the genie in the bottle, awaiting your command. So ask smart questions. We're not licensed financial pros, so be sure to consult with a licensed professional, attorney, or tax consultant.